If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights when playing with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Silence falls and the world get really small. She crawls into bed. I'm in my 350 Zen. High-speed meditation just to ease my head. The light beat posing on sliding. Put the music on, keep it from crying. A tear may escape. Escape first gear, but have no fear. No fear, no fear, no fear, no fear. I'll never stop trying, 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 stop trying. I love the surge, the pull, away from the curve, the way the sound reverberate as I push my foot down, accelerate straight out of town. With the help of James Brown on the tape, which escape philosophy on the M3 to ascend my physical boundaries, blend with the mystical reality, and finally I'm free, 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 I'm free. Traveling instantaneously to space till I reach that place within me. There's no trace of beginning, there's no end. We are both receive and send. My soul fills the universe end to end, and I feel myself heal a man. Mind is still I'm floating, look down, trust it wide open. Inner serenity, comfort me, best section 23. More way back till I'm flying, I'm cracking and never stop trying, 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 never stop trying. I'm flying, 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 I'm flying. But I'll never stop trying, 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 I'll never st Everything is different. You can still see everything around you, but it completely lost its significance. It's not important anymore. It's in acceptance that you are we and everything that is you. Emotions don't stick and fall away till that remains is joy. Joy, 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 joy.
It strikes me more and more that our failure to feel at home in this astonishing brain in which we live is the result of a basic initial mistake in our thinking about the world, and is in turn the cause of what is beginning to look like the failure of our technology, of the fact that everything we're doing to try to improve the world was a success in the short run, made amazing initial improvements, but in the long run, we seem to be destroying the planet by our very efforts to control it and improve it. And it strikes me that that is because we are really too simple-minded to understand what we're doing when we interfere with the natural world strongly and on a vast scale. We don't really interfere with it because that would suggest that we were something different from it, something outside. But I think what we're doing through it line by line by line, I see the whole thing at once. I take it in with, as it were, a wide-angle lens. But when I try to understand the world through literature and through mathematics, I have to scan lines. You know, that's why it takes us so long to get educated in school. Because our eyes have to scan and organize miles and miles of print. And that takes us 20 years to get through it. But life happens, changes go on too rapidly for that. Because you see, in the world, everything is happening all together everywhere at once. And meanwhile, we, with our myopic little minds, are working it out step by step. Of course, we are greatly assisted by the rapidity of the computer. But even so, the computer is still looking at things in rows as the magnetic tape goes through and scanned by the computer. It's still all going along in a single track. And I suppose then our difficulty is that we have lamentably one-track minds in an infinitely many-tracked universe. And we may have to come to the alarming conclusion that the universe is smarter than we are.
Now, I want to make an observation here about checking out of the game. You can't be one on your own without great difficulty. Firstly, because you're a poor consumer. Because they aren't owning the right sort of cars, and therefore the local car salesman isn't doing business through them. They don't have lawns, and so nobody can sell them lawnmowers. They hardly use dishwashers, appliances of that kind. They don't need them. And also they wear blue jeans and things like that, and so the local dress shops feel they put out having these people around. And they live very simply. Well, you mustn't do that. You've got to live in a complicated way. You've got to have the kind of car, you know, that identifies you as a person of substance, status, and all that. So there's a great problem here in our society. Now, why is there this problem? There's always a very inconsiderable minority of these non-joiners or people who check out of the game. But you will find that insecure societies are the most intolerant of those who are non-joiners. They are so unsure of the validity of their game rules that they say everyone must play. Now that's a double bind. You can't say to a person, you must play, because what you're saying is you are required to do something which will be acceptable only if you do it voluntarily. See? So everyone must play is the rule in the United States. And it's the rule in almost all Republican governments. I mean Republican in the sense of democratic. Because they're very uneasy Because everybody is responsible. You mean you may try not to be and avoid it, say, oh, let the senators take care of it or the president. But theoretically, everyone's responsible. Now that's terrifying. See, it's all right when you know what's right. There is an aristocracy, there is the clergy, and they know what should be done, and they're used to ruling, you see. But now it's in your hands. You say, well, what are we going to do? Well, I think this way, and you think that way, and he thinks the other way. And so we're all unsettled. And therefore, we become more and more conformist. Individualism, rugged individualism, always leads to conformism, because people get scared. And so they herd together, and it compounded with industrial society, mass production, etc. They all wear the same clothes, and they're sensible clothes that don't show the dirt too much. And we get duller and drabber, and with the exception of the Californian Revolution. So the reason for this is, in a way, that democracy as we have tried it started out on the wrong foot. You see, in the scriptures, in the Christian scriptures, it says everybody is equal in the sight of God. Now that's a mystical utterance. That means that from the standpoint of God, all people are divine and are playing their true function. And that is something that is true on a certain plane of consciousness. But come down a step and try to apply the mystical insight in the practical affairs of everyday life, and what you get a parody of mysticism. You get the idea not that everybody is equal in the sight of God, but that all people are equally inferior. And that's why all bureaucracies are rude, why the police are rude, and why you're made to wait in lines, and are obstreperous income tax individuals, and all that sort of person. And because everybody's a crook, everybody's equally inferior. See, that becomes the parody of democracy. And that kind of society, watch out for it. It turns in a quick click into fascism because of its terror of the outsider. Now, a free and easy society loves outsiders. In fact, it's a little bad for the outsider's integrity, because he becomes a holy man, see? And people make salams and give him food and all that. They really take care of the outsider, because they know that man is doing for us what we haven't got the guts to do. That outsider who lives up there in the mountain is at the highest peak of human evolution. His consciousness is one with the divine. And great, just there is someone like that around. It makes you feel a little better. He has realized, he knows what it's all about. And so we need a number of those people. Even though they don't join our game, they tell us, you see, what you're doing is only a game. It's okay, I'm not going to condemn you, but it is only a game, and we up on that mountaintop are watching you. We love you, we have compassion for you, and but excuse please, we aren't going to join. So that gives the community great strength, because it tells the government in no uncertain terms that there's something more than government.
I don't want to intrude if you prefer to be alone. Good. So get up. It's nice tonight. Very calm. Feels like everyone is sleeping very peacefully. Not everyone. I hate sleeping. I never sleep more than a few hours. I figure I slept the first 11 years of my life, now I'm making up for it. What about you? I just have it's a good sign. Of what? That you are in fact still human. Have you ever been to the engineering level? I love to walk there at night. It's quite amazing. Would you like to see it? Almost no one comes down here unless it works as a block. That's how it is with people. Nobody cares how it works as long as it works. I like it. I like to be reminded the city survives because of these machines. These machines are keeping us alive while other machines are coming to kill us. Interesting. Power to give life. The power to end it. We have the same power. Oh, I suppose we do. Down here sometimes I think about all those people still plugged into the Matrix. And when I look at these machines, I can't help thinking that in a way we are plugged into them. If we control these machines, they don't control us. Of course not. How could they? The idea is pure nonsense, but it does make one wonder just what is control?
If we wanted, we could shut these machines down.
That's it. You hit it. That's control. If we wanted, we could smash them to bits. Although if we did, we'd have to consider what would happen to our lights, our heat.
So we need machines like yours. Such a point, Captain.
Old men like me don't bother with making noise. There's no point.
Is that why there are no young men on the council?
Good point.
Why don't you tell me what's happening, Captain?
There is so much in this world that I do not understand. See that machine? It has something to do with recycling our water supply. I have absolutely no idea. I don't understand the reason. I have absolutely no idea how you were able to do some of the things you do. I believe there's a reason for that as well. I only hope we understand that reason before it's too late.
The speaker has said that going to an office every day from 9 to 5 is an intolerable imprisonment. But in any society, of all kinds of jobs have to be done. Is case teaching, therefore, only for the few? You want, shall I read it again? The speaker has said that human society is so constructed throughout the world that most people are occupied with jobs, pleasant or unpleasant, from 9 to 5 every day of their life. And he said also that it's intolerable imprisonment. I don't know how you feel about it. Probably you like being in prison. Probably you liked your jobs from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, rushing back and all the rest of it. What shall we do? To the speaker, he won't tolerate it for a single minute. For the speaker, I'd rather do something which would be pleasant, helpful, and necessary to earn enough money and so on. But most of us accept this prison, this routine. Right? You understand? We accept it. So what shall we do? Nobody, as far as one is capable of sufficient, efficient observation, nobody has questioned this. Well, say it is known, is the way of society, is the way of our life, is the way we must live. But if we all see together that such a imprisonment, which it is actually, and that we all feel is intolerable, not just verbally, but actually, do something about it, we'll create a new society, right? We will, if all of us say we will not tolerate for a single day this routine, this monstrous activity of 9 to 5, however necessary, however good and pleasant, then we'll bring about not only psychological revolution, but also outwardly. Right? We may agree about this, but will we do it? I say, no, I can't do it because I have responsibility. I have children, I have a house and mortgage, insurance. Thank God I'm getting all this. And so you might say, well, it's easy for you to talk about all this. But it's easy for the speaker to talk about it because he refuses to go in that pattern. From boyhood, he refused. Now, if we all consider that such a psychological as well as physical revolution of this kind, not bloody and all the rest of it, then we'll create a quite a different society, won't we? So, you want others to create the society and you can then slip into it. That's what we're all waiting for. Few struggle, work, create, and refuse to enter into this rat race. And the others say, yes, after you have constructed that, what you think is the right society, then we'll all join. But we don't do it together. That's the whole problem. Right? If we all had this, not idea of fact, to spend our life from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, probably before that, every day of our life for 60 years more, we would do something about it. Like as if you refuse to have wars, you understand, wars, killing other people in the name of your country or God, whatever the ideal is, if you all refuse to kill another, there will be no wars. Right? But we have constructed a society, built a society based on violence, arms, each nation protecting itself against other nations. And so we are perpetuating wars, killing your sons, your daughters, everything. And we support it. In the same way, we support, maintain this imprisonment. Pleasant for those who have an agreeable job. For those who refuse to enter this game, they will act, they will do something. So the problem is, do we see the importance or the necessity of this change? After all, human mind is not merely occupied with a particular job, pleasant or unpleasant. Human mind has the quality of other things which we disregard. We are concerned with the whole of life, not just career, 9 to 5, how we live, what we do, what our thinking is, whether there is affection, care, love, compassion, all that is part of life. And so, but we are so conditioned to this idea that we must work and create a structure of a society that demands that you work from morning till night. The speaker refuses to enter that rat race. It isn't that he has got certain gifts or that somebody will look after him, but he refuses to enter it. I wouldn't go for a single day from 9 to 5 for anybody, for anything. I might die, but I wouldn't do that. In the same way, I wouldn't kill another human being, whatever the circumstances. I know what you're going to say about if your sister is attacked, you know, all that game. Because violence produces more violence. You're seeing that. But we are all so timid. We're all so nervous, frightened, anxious. We want the security which we think we have, which we haven't got. So will you go into this and find out if you can free yourself from that rat race, and to find out one must exercise capacity, intelligence, not say, I won't do it. You don't do it because you are intelligent, not because you are told or you have read in some book or some philosopher. I think it's very clear. And also, the question asks, is case teachings therefore only for the few? This is one of the questions that's asked over and over and over again. What do you think? If it is for the few, it's not worth it. It may just go slowly. The speaker says it's for everyone. But everyone is not serious, has got the energy because it's dissipating in all various ways. And so, gradually, there are very few. You follow? So, observing it, say it's only for the few. Whereas actually, if you apply, go into it seriously, spirit of investigation and wanting to live a different kind of life, it is for everyone. There is nothing secret. But there is great mystery to go beyond the limitation of thought. But we don't do any of these things. We don't test it out. We don't apply. We don't eat the food that's put before us. And the few that eat it say we are the elite. We actually are not the elite. We are only the serious people that have applied, thought about it, gone into it, applied, seen that it affects their daily life. It's only that then one can create a different kind of society.
You know, one of the things that has amazed me with my own personal career, because, you know, I started out basically shoveling snow in a cow town in Colorado, and by fate or who knows what, come to the present position. And what I notice as I traverse levels on a supposed ladder of success, where you would expect there to be more and more competition and people and activity, actually it gets emptier and emptier. There is nobody minding the store, as far as I can tell. This is why I'm so unsympathetic to conspiracy theory. We could use a few conspiracies. Nobody is minding the store. Everybody is getting rich, personally rich. And so they don't have time for, you know, to advance the Aryan race or the Council of Zion or any of this fantasy and illusion that haunts the world of conspiracy theory. Rather, it seems everything is being left pretty much to develop on its own, because people are afraid to grab or touch the levers and buttons in the control room of the historical vehicle. And what that means then is that people who can cut through these many, many illusions the illusion of materialism, the illusion of business as usual, the illusion of benevolent institutions carefully guiding us toward reasonable destinies. If you cut through all that, if you disabuse yourself of all that, you will empower yourself to eventually be able to stand up in delicate social and political situations and just say, bullshit. That's bullshit. And this is worth considering doing simply because we have an imperiled planet on our hands. We have been, for a long, long time, the victims of illusion. Western civilization, Stephen Dedalus was right. History is a nightmare from which one must awaken. Quite literally. I mean, we have been blind to what we have been doing. We are blind at this moment to what we are doing. If in a single moment the actual nature of our predicament were to fully make itself felt in the mind of any one of us, I think it would be paralyzing. It would be horrifying. We have waited till the last moment of the last hour. The house is burning down around us, and we rouse ourselves from the stupor of materialism, the stupor of Christianity and scientism, the stupor of male dominance, sexism, and racism. If we don't rouse ourselves from this stupor, the momentum toward extinction is now practically irreversible. You know, the Grateful Dead like to sing that song, "We need a miracle every day." We certainly do. Because so then that brings me back to my original point, that the moment that outside the then of culture lies an unmapped terra incognita, as vast as the New World was to the Old in the 15th century, as vast as outer space appears to us now. The New World outside of culture is a world that can be conquered through vision and language. And you know, many of you have sat through my recitations of what it's like to smoke DMT. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the medieval woodcut of the guy sticking his head through the cogs and wheels of the cosmic machinery to observe a new world outside. The message here is, and it's more than a message. It's a message if you just come to events like this and then go back to studying cost accounting. It's an experience, if you will, but avail yourselves of these tools. The experience is of the discovery of a new world as real as any world that we know. It's not going to come from Time magazine or the Secretary General of the United Nations or anybody like that. It isn't that the world is tired and played out and that all frontiers have been explored. Every culture could support that viewpoint within certain classes and in certain situations. But in fact, it has never been true, and it isn't true now. We are monkeys, and monkeys love a hell of a good fight. And we have a hell of a fight bearing down on us because we have to clean up the mess. We're not going to go silently into the gentle night of extinction. It's just not going to happen that way. Creativity is going to be unleashed. Struggle is going to be an unavoidable part of trying to steer this battleship away from the cataracts of history in which we are now caught. I believe that if there is a tremendous obligation upon the privileged classes of the high-tech industrial democracies, and I dare say that includes everyone in this room, a tremendous obligation to attempt to deconstruct the bomb that we have inherited. And that is literally our situation. The gift from the past, from the 19th century, from the 1940s, from the psychology of Nixon and Johnson and that kind, is a ticking bomb, except that it's a planet. And it's the greatest challenge to intelligence that intelligence has ever faced. And yet it's precisely the kind of challenge that intelligence should be able to meet, because what it requires is large-scale strategic planning, implementation of visionary responses. It is not incremental. It's sudden, complete, and dramatic. And I really believe that there will only be one chance. You know, we are circling the runway of post-history, and the engines are running low, and there is one approach, and then, you know, if you miss that approach, you're into the drink.